Welcome back to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm Connor, and I'm with the boys as usual, Joey and Khan. That's them. They're the boys.
That's them.
We need to learn how to podcast again because it's been the first time we've been in the studio for
baby.
Well, we never left, but in real life we did leave to a lot of different places.
It's been like 5 weeks.
It's been a long time since we've been in the podcast studio.
Been to America twice.
You did? Oh yeah, you did.
Because Hawaii is America.
Oh, yeah, true.
And
Yeah.
I cycled all across Kyushu.
I always forget.
God.
In a week's work.
I always forget Hawaii is America.
Yeah. We were busy.
I forgot about that until, well, I knew about that, but for some reason,
I would hope so.
I knew, but like for some reason there was always this like mental
Hawaii?
gap where Hawaii is Hawaii, even though like it's, you know, an American state. I still always felt that Hawaii is its own separate thing in my mind, even though it's not. And then we went to Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, this is actually America. Okay, this is actually America. It's we just went to Hawaii for KawaiiCon, which was very fun. It was
anime convention.
Mine and first Connor's trip to Hawaii.
How was it?
It was all right. Hawaii's nice. Hawaii's definitely a good place.
I should never ask a British person if something's good or not. Because the answer would just be,
it's like Disneyland for adults. If you ever go to Hawaii, you just kind of feel like instead of like, you know, when you go to certain parts in like Spain, they'll have like a resort. Just seems like the whole island, or at least that part of the city.
Well, especially Waikiki.
It's just turned into like a resort for people with too much money and want to drink alcohol.
Well, wasn't it something like, I think you or someone was telling me.
We had a cameraman for something, and the cameraman who lived there for like 30 years, he told me that Hawaii, this could be bullshit. We might need to fact check this. He told me that Hawaii has 1 million people who live on it.
Like locals.
People who live there, but at any given time, there's 10 million people on the island, which would imply that it's like a ratio of like 1 to 9.
It's like Tokyo.
It's a lot. It's a lot of tourists. But like most of them stay in where we were, which was like Waikiki, which I guess is the touristy part. It's basically like it feels like a Disneyland, but for adults who want to go to the beach.
Kai, were they capping or?
6.7 million visitors compared to 1.4 million residents.
So it's like 5 to 1,
pretty
which
close.
is still insane considering.
Because that means like when you're walking around or driving, like you're almost always looking at a tourist without realizing it.
Oh, especially if you're in like Waikiki, which we were for the most
it was all
part,
tourists.
but
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked to explore more of the other islands because like Hawaii was like incredible, but I think my mental image of Hawaii before going did not add up to the image that I landed in.
What was your mental image of Hawaii initially?
I don't know.
Like
maybe
more island-like?
Yeah, maybe a bit more like island-like, maybe a bit, you know, closer to nature or stuff like that. You know, I've traveled to like different tropical islands before.
Yeah.
And obviously there have been like big cities on some of these islands, but nothing that really compared to Waikiki.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like Connor said, it was like kind of like a theme park. I landed and I'm like, oh shit, it's spring break. 24/7 every day of the year. That's kind of what it felt like.
Felt bad for the locals. They have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what Kyoto feels like to the locals that live there.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm British. I was like, yeah, it's all right. I'm not a big beach guy. Not a fan of beaches.
That's why he's so white.
I honestly, I got to avoid that.
You're blending into that shirt, dude.
I normally stay away from beaches. I'm not.
Why? Okay, why are you not a beach person? That's what I've always wanted to know. Because you've said
sucks. Sand actually is the worst feeling thing known
What are you,
to
Luke
man.
Skywalker?
I think that people mock that scene, and I thought he's right. Like I thought, sand is like just something that I despise, and when I'm on it, I can't relax.
So would you prefer it if it was a pebble beach, a rock beach?
No, I don't want any beach.
Let's not get sand into this. Sand is its own separate
I like
thing.
scuba diving.
Wait, were you literally not a lifesaver at one point in your life?
Yeah, I was at a pool.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in a pool.
I love swimming. I love scuba diving.
Right.
But I hate
But
the
you don't like the
idea
ocean.
of like, the ocean's alright.
Yeah. Ocean mid.
Right. I just like if we could have like just the pool kind of setup, but for all of the ocean, like I can climb out and I can just be done.
That is the most privileged thing you've said in a long time.
I've said a lot of privileged things.
I know. It has been 0 days.
I just don't like sand. Like it just sucks.
I like
Because it's
The
like, all
ocean.
right, okay, let's say, all right, you go to the beach, right? I don't care about what you like, Gone. Right? It's about me.
I was about to make a point, and you just made it seem like I just made an AI generated sentence.
I like the ocean.
I like the ocean.
I thought you were done. That's why the cadence of which you were talking implied you were done.
What happened was I was starting my sentence. I was like, "Oh, Connor hasn't finished his point," and then you stopped, and I was like,
Well, because
oh.
now I realize, okay, it's like you go, let's say you go to the beach, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you go in shoes, it feels gross, feels nasty. I don't like it.
Okay.
If you sit down in it, I gotta
Sandals all the way, man. You got to go to the beach in sandals.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go,
Flip-flops.
right, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can go in sandals,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I love my Vessies, man, but not for the beach, man. Not for the beach.
but it's like then like let's say you lay a towel down, towel gets all fucking sandy. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Towel
And then
gets
you gotta-
sandy if you're like new to the beach.
Well, I mean,
It's pretty easy to avoid getting sand.
But then,
on your
like, let's say
towel.
I go into the ocean, and I want to dry myself, and it's like, okay,
That's why
well,
you bring another towel.
Yeah, but this is already so annoying. Like, this is
Life
already,
hack: bring 2 towels.
This is already so frustrating that I have to bring 2 towels, and then like I don't know.
I think it's worth going through all that just for the vibes.
I
You
just
know?
hate
There's just something
sands.
about a beach
It's a
vibe,
vibe.
that you can't. Because I actually agree with you. I do not like sand, and I don't like swimming in the ocean. But yet I love beaches, just because there is just a certain vibe, especially when you can feel the ocean air. There's just something about this. This is like
It's
this is-
living.
Yeah. This is living, man. And I say that growing up in Brighton, we have one of
Worst
the
beach.
worst beaches I've been to in the world. I mean, every British beach is the worst beach I've been
That's
to
true.
in the world.
True.
But I still fucking loved it. I
we
mean,
have some weird beaches.
something about being next to a big body of water is just, especially during COVID and especially living in Tokyo, I miss that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because we have beaches here in Japan, but unless you go, down south,
Yeah.
it's not like great beaches.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of beaches. It's kind of where I'm. I don't know. Like I could enjoy the beach more if I like, let's say I went like giga bougie and we had like like we're staying in like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
It had like access to the beach.
Yeah.
Then I'm kind of down because
Yeah.
then I can
Like a
just
beach
go,
resort,
Yeah, because then you can just
right?
go back into the hotel or whatever when you're done. Like
Yeah.
it's the whole like traveling to the beach, which I also hate a lot of the time because you got to like you're dressed for the beach, but then you don't want to. I don't want to dress
As
like
an
that.
Australian, I'm dying on the inside.
Yeah, this is the average Australian commute. Yeah, this is like
it is.
I hate that. I think it's just the British part of me that just hates it.
Yeah.
And so
Are there not any
ultimate-
beaches in Wales?
There are, but there's one really nice in South Wales called like the Gower or Mumbles, I think it's called, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it's like this, but it's more of like looks like a Game of Thrones stone formation. It's like a giant cliff, and it looks amazing. It's really cool.
right.
But it's not really like maybe in the summer you go there, but I never did. I just
Right.
went there to like walk across the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And there's some up north that are pretty decent, but a lot of them are terrible. A lot of needles, a lot of stones. They stink.
Yeah.
The tide difference is crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go to England for its beaches or
No.
just Britain in general.
I don't think anyone was.
That's why we go
Yeah.
outside the UK.
Not even British people do that.
Yeah.
But then if you don't have the beach, if you're not a big beach guy, and then you also don't vibe with the city of like Waikiki in Hawaii, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, what's there really to do? And so we ended up drinking craft beer most of the time, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
which
the
was
best
great.
part.
Which was great.
That was great. The
Yeah.
food in Hawaii was amazing.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
probably the best part of Hawaii.
One thing that I was really impressed with was the actual locals. Man,
Oh, yeah,
they-
everyone's really nice.
God,
Yeah.
everyone had such an awesome energy to them in Hawaii.
The amount of times
you know?
I did this while I was there, man, I was just like, I get this now. I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
why
yeah.
locals do this. This is the vibe of Hawaii,
Yeah.
100%.
It is totally vibes, and everyone is just on the same level. I
Yeah.
thought people would be like much more relaxed over there, but they bring the energy, and it's such a
It's a
good
relaxed
fucking
hype.
energy.
Yeah.
yeah. I've never seen such a relaxed
They're
hype.
relaxed when they need to be, and they're hype when they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
It's
was
0
great.
or 100. There's nothing in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah, people were generally just a lot happier there, which was nice. I felt a little bit safer as well than most of the US.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or if that's just like a weird misconception.
I think it's
but
just purely because we're in Waikiki, but like, I feel, compared to other big cities in other American states, like, it was weird because I almost forgot at one point. I was like, oh, we're in America,
Yeah,
technically. Why do I feel so safe just like
well,
walking around?
You realize you're in America when there's like 4 lanes of
Yeah.
cars, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm back.
But I could have, but like, there was so many days where I would just be like, oh, I'm just going to go for a walk, even if it's at night or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't catch me doing that in LA or
On the mainland.
anywhere, like or on the mainland anywhere,
Yeah.
right? But in Hawaii, for some reason, I was like, yeah, no
Mainland's
one has
such
a
a-
gun here. No one's gonna stab me here. It's fine. Everyone's just chilling out. When there's definitely no guarantee.
Mainland sounds so cool to say. Makes
Yeah,
me feel like I'm
yeah.
Attack on Titan.
The mainland,
The mainland.
standing on the beach, like,
Let's take
is
it
that
over.
where they are?
Let's take over the mainland.
Is that where our freedom is?
Over there? Do I find my enemies over there?
In LA.
It was good though. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was definitely the people that I liked the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all of the like everything about Hawaii and the food and people were the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the weather was pretty good. We had a lot of rain, but I
like that.
generally not a fan of humid and hot places. I say that, and I live in Japan.
Yeah.
But I'm an AC fiend here. I don't leave AC areas.
See, I'm actually a fan of tropical rain.
I know you are.
Yeah,
you're
it's-
Thai though. That's not fair. You,
it's-
you got a
it's-
natural buff to it, bro.
It's not just about being Thai.
You
okay?
were- you were-
Fuck off. It is about being
You were
Thai.
born in the warm rain.
Bro,
Look,
you
I will.
have a
Anything
natural-
is better than British rain, okay? British rain is the most depressing thing I've seen on the face of this earth, all right? Like, there's a difference between, like, the fucking cold, wet rain that's not even really rain. It's just like someone blew God blew a raspberry on you, and it's just unpleasant to go out versus just getting, like, rain that just cools down the temperature by a few degrees, and it's just...
He says that, but the day before we left, there was a flood warning and it was torrential rain. It was insane.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
I think because when you're an island in like the middle of the Pacific Ocean,
Yeah.
the rain is so weird. It like
Yeah.
appears for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
No joke.
It's like an on-off switch.
Sometimes
Yeah.
just 10 seconds gone. And
Yeah.
then again, and then none. And then torrential, gone. It's so weird. In the UK, if it rains, it's like, well, Susan, get the biscuits and the scones because it's going to be raining for the next 4 days and it's not going to stop. And it's going to be torrential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a no joke. It's always raining in fucking-
Yeah, because we checked the weather report just before we flew to Hawaii, and we saw the weather report, and we were getting worried because we had a week-long period that was just rain.
Yeah.
But I knew what it meant. If it's like tropical weather, just rain on the weather report means it's going to rain hard for 5 minutes, and then for like the rest of like the 24 hours, maybe it'll rain in like the nighttime or the evening time. But it will come in like 5-minute bursts or like 20 minutes at most, and then it will like clear up, it will dry up. And if you were outside for those 5 minutes, well, fuck you. You are getting soaked.
Tough shit.
Yeah, nobody's carrying around an umbrella here, man. You either leave with an umbrella, you can't just like pick one up randomly.
Sure.